This morning we start with Alyssa White, who is just back from a conference in the Bahamas. It was the Bahamas National Youth Climate Change Conference, and it was facilitated through a partnership with the Ashley Lashley Foundation. Alyssa is a young environmentalist with a passion for our beautiful planet. She holds a bachelor's degree in marine biology and a master's degree in natural resource management. So let's say good morning and welcome to Alyssa White.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, good to have you with us. Now, my first question is, what initially piqued your interest in environmental studies?
Well, originally I wanted to be a. Sorry, but I'm getting over a cold. So, but I originally wanted to be a marine biologist because I was very drawn to the water. But then, as I further on pursued my studies in Jamaica, I learned the different aspects of the environment, being terrestrial and under the water. And then with my master's in natural resource management, that kind of helped me jumpstart my activism in the environment.
All right, so talk to us about this conference that you're just back from in Bahamas. How did it go?
It was really good. The Bahamas conference was basically an opportunity for youth to come together because the Bahamas is broken up into different family islands, and youth from each family island get to come in and listen to different presentations on different aspects of the environment, such as sustainable agriculture, health, blue carbon credits, conservation, marine resources, a whole different bunch of stuff. And then at the end of that, they were able to um, bring their ideas together and collate a youth action policy document, which they will present to the government of Bahamas, which I thought was very impactful.
What are some of the key takeaways from that document?
So a lot of the issues that the youth believe they were having, which I kind of believe is similar to some of us in Barbados as well, is the lack of education, the lack of education all around because not the environmental or the climate change aspect is not pushed enough in schools. So they believe that they know little to none about it and they don't know understand why they have to care about it. So that's one aspect, as well as the fact that because of not sister islands, but family islands, islands which are further away from the capital have less access or receive the access late rather than those closer to the capital. So they find it a bit unfair and they want to have a better dissemination of information across the board.
Based on what you've seen, your areas of study, the areas that are near and dear to your heart, what do you think Barbadians need to do more of generally to be able to take better care of our environment?
I will honestly think the first step is to care first off, because I find like we need to understand that this is our environment, this is where we're gonna live our days, and if we don't take care of it, then we're gonna have to like reap the repercussions of us not taking care of it. So we have to try and be cautious of us where we put our litter. We have to be cautious of what we do on the beach, especially when we go to the beach. If you have a picnic, please remember to clean up after yourselves. Also, try to get involved as much as possible. There's a bunch of campaigns, environmental campaigns going on, so it's best to like educate yourself as well as to be involved.
I know that you're working on a few other opportunities for young Barbadians to be able to assist and learn more in this area through something called the Youth Climate Action Summit. Tell us about that.
The Youth Action Climate Summit is basically an opportunity for youth to come together, and it's thanks to the Ashley Lashley Foundation as well because they are the ones going to be running it. But they are bringing youth together so they're able to be educated on climate change and the environment, and as well have a voice in these types of discussions.
All right, that is excellent. For you, where are you hoping to take all that you've been learning, academically, and the experience you're gaining on a daily basis, so to speak, as you attend these many conferences and represent not only yourself but Barbados as well? Where are you hoping to take this passion of yours?
So I hope to take it further where I want to be able to advocate for more rights to the youth, especially in the environmental space, because we are stakeholders in the environmental space and we should have a voice in terms of the decisions being made in terms of the environment. Some of the programs I'm actually doing currently right now is I actually launched my Women in Agriculture program last week, which is training women in sustainable practices of agriculture. And from that pilot project, we're going to carry on to the youth, and that will be our second pilot, our second cohort next year.
All right, that's absolutely wonderful. It's great work that the Ashley Lash Foundation is doing with young people, and most certainly in this particular area as well. Now, the theme for that conference that you attended was Driving Climate Action, a Golden Opportunity for Youth Empowerment. I want you to speak directly to young people who might be interested in the environment as well, or others who might not recognize that there might be an interest as yet about the difference that they need to make to be able to maintain our environment or help to get it back to a place where it is far more sustainable than what we're seeing now as the fallout from things like climate change.
So what I would say to young people is that a normal trend is that people believe that because they don't know enough, they don't have a right to speak on it. But that's not true. You have an opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion as well. So no matter how small a change is, it is still a significant change, and you should still go ahead and make that change because it might end up being on a large scale a better change. So in terms of that, I feel like young people should just educate themselves as well as make opportunities and spaces to bridge gaps, because although environment feels like a sector by itself, it has an involvement with sports and business and all that. Everything is tied together. So all we have to do is just bridge that gap between the environment and other sectors, and then they will be able to understand that everything is in a circular economy.
Absolutely. Now, I know through being able to engage at this level, there will always be new things that are either brought to your attention or new things that you learn. What would you say are some of the ways that the Bahamas might be leading the charge, or maybe other islands that participated might be leading the charge on matters involving the environment that Barbados can follow suit?
That is actually a really great question, because one presentation that we had in Bahamas that I thought was very exciting and revolutionary is that the famous retired NBA player Rick Fox, I'm not sure if you know of him, but he owns a business in Bahamas, and what he's doing is he's creating bricks that actually take the carbon from the atmosphere. So imagine a whole a whole development passively extracting carbon from the atmosphere, and that is actually reducing the carbon footprint of the island. So I thought that was an amazing innovative solution that he bringing to the Bahamas, and I think that's something that Barbados should bring on as well.
How are you going to work further to try to bring all of your knowledge and experience to bear here in Barbados, in the wider region and the world, based on this passion that you have for the environment?
I'm going to continue advocating, continue doing what I'm doing, and as well as educating others, continue to get into schools and communities and to share the knowledge of the environment as well as what is important for you guys as well.
I see that you, during your course of study, you honed in on a sea creature that is found here in the Caribbean Ocean. Tell us a little bit more about that particular creature, because I understand you did your thesis all about this creature as well.
Yeah, so my thesis is on Diadema antillarum, which is the black long spine sea urchin. You may be familiar with it because it's that very black thing that's in the crevices of the coral reefs. So basically, they're native to our Caribbean region and the Western Atlantic, meaning that they're only found in this area. So what happened is they had a mass mortality event in 1983, which basically eradicated it or functionally extinct it from the region. So over time, they were trying to recover, but then in 2022, we had another mass mortality event occur in the Caribbean again. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to see the the impact of the mass mortality event in 2022 and if it impacted our recovery. But it seems that the mass mortality event, which was suspected to be caused by a waterborne pathogen, was actually from a ciliate, that a parasite of sorts, which is also connected to stony coral tissue, which is plaguing the Caribbean as well. So that is basically my thesis in a nutshell.
All right, and that's the first smile we got throughout this interview. So it says that it truly is near and dear to your heart, which is a positive thing. Now, if with a what do you do with the magic wand? You shake it with a point. What do you do with the magic wand? With one swipe of the magic wand, if you could change one thing that Barbadians do that they really shouldn't, what would it be?
I think I will wait. Well, I think that I would want Barbadians to be more aware of their actions. Like, just be more cautiously aware of our actions, because if you are free to do what you want, but please do it in a sustainable way, which it doesn't harm the environment.
All right, definitely a good thing. Be more aware of what you do. Yeah, because we're still seeing people driving around tossing stuff out of windows and
Exactly.
all of yeah. I sometimes I can't even believe it that they're doing it. But you truly are an exceptional young woman, and we wish you all the best in your advocacy. However, we can help, we are willing to share as well. So, Alyssa White, member of the Ashley Lashley Foundation, and of course, she just attended the Bahamas National Youth Climate Conference, which took place July 13th and 14th in Nassau, Bahamas. And in exchange for your participation, the government of the Bahamas will be sending 2 youth ambassadors to participate in an upcoming summit, October 18th to 20th. So let's close out talking about that.
Um, so what I want to say before we close off is thank you, Ashalashi Foundation, for allowing me to have the opportunity to go to Bahamas. My involvement came with the my participation came in the involvement of being a Hay ambassador for this year, and it was done with also the support of the Division of Youth Affairs. I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to go and to share my knowledge as well as to listen into different perspectives. And I would like to welcome, as well as open arms, the 2 youth participants from Bahamas. I hope they have a really great time and also learn what we can learn.
All right, thank you so much. Another exceptional youth, Alyssa White, sharing with us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up, the eyes have it, and we have another exceptional young woman, Rihanna